So I went back to my Suburban and I got my good old camera with the lines in it with a freshly charged battery. There happens to be a gentleman walking down the road wearing a tag, and I said, that's a 60 Corvair, and I bet you if I open that door of that Corvair next to that barn and that rolling meadow, it's going to go. He says, but you can open the book of you could open the front page of the book that I wrote and read LIFEMOBILE. And here's a gentleman right here.
How are you? Oh, thank you for your card.
I'm CORVAIRWILD on YouTube.
Oh, at CORVAIRWILD.
I'm CORVAIRWILD on YouTube, and he wrote a book with his son. Driving across the country, was it? You'll have to refresh my memory.
I drove it across the country, but it's really a book about, based on the adventures that my son and I had when I brought a 1965 Corvair home. My son has Asperger's syndrome, which is sometimes called high-functioning
autism.
And the Corvair became a real passion, obsession of his, and he identified with it, that it was a car that was not defective, just different, like him, and was misunderstood by the world because of that, and stereotyped as unsafe, the way he was stereotyped as being, retarded or something like that, and he's actually quite bright. So he really identified with it and kind of would talk to people about, how great it was and its history, and he'd work on it. He'd never worked on cars before. So it was really a great experience for him.
Now, the car got restored or repaired or roadworthy?
The car was restored when I bought it on eBay, actually. And so he and I did stuff like installing seat belts.
Was it a good eBay experience, to get off the subject a little bit?
It was an excellent eBay experience.
Really?
No qualms whatsoever, but I had a lot of long discussions with the seller, who turned out to be a president of a Corvair club. So I felt pretty comfortable dealing with him.
Possibly because you had a bad experience at one point on eBay. You heard about the bad experiences, people.
Yeah, no, I was aware of the dangers, yeah. But no, this turn could not have been better.
Really? And it's 65 Monza convertible?
In the book, it's a Monza convertible, because then it can have automatic transmission, so the boy can drive it easier. But in fact, my own is a Corsa convertible with a stick shift.
I see. And 140?
Yes.
Yeah, and there's so many Corsas here. I've only done the late models so far.
Right.
But we're dealing with the technical difficulties of these little Chinese devices.
No, I know.
Much like printing a book. Be ready on a certain day and things. So, is there a story behind this 60? Of course, it's a horn slot 60.
Is it?
No.
No.
Yeah.
I
one of three known to exist.
Yeah, no, that would be too cool. Well, the story is simply that my daughter, who's a photographer, was going to take a picture of my son and I with our Corvair in front of a barn, and so to kind of think of ideas as to how to pose it, or maybe to find a barn or things like that, I happened to Google Corvair barn under images, and that's the first image that came up. And I said, if that guy will let me use that for the cover, that's the cover, because it's so beautiful.
Oh, and it was someone that had publicly posted the picture.
Yeah, he's a photographer. Yeah, so I bought the rights to it from him, and he's a Corvair guy. He's owned Corvairs.
Really?
And he also is familiar with Asperger's syndrome, so he was completely on board with it.
Certain things
they just fall into place.
Just click, click, click.
I mean, it was just a couple of hours from the time I hit the send button on my email to him that.
That's an amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
He's in Seattle, Washington. That's
oh, I see the tag on it says Washington. I'm not familiar with it. It even has half of a license plate frame.
Yeah.
It's a great picture.
Yeah.
Geez, those pogo guys just hang around here. There's no phones at the concours, and we're doing a book interview now, so just step on that thing. Well, I'm now going to read the entire book on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll read it later. I'll do one of those.
You're going to narrate it, do the audio version on YouTube?
I actually used to read many years ago for the deaf. Not the deaf, the blind. You read. That
would be hard. Yeah.
Read for the blind. This isn't a rehearsed interview when I make mistakes like that.
Cut.
Edit that between second two. Sometimes I get people watch my videos and they'll say, really funny between 2:36 and 2:41. You expect me to watch my videos again? It's bad enough I have to make them. That's a great book. Great to interview you. You happen to have a card by any chance?
Yes, I do.
Oh, geez,
There
what
it
a
is.
coincidence. You think this was staged?
No,
Okay.
no.
Well, nice to meet you.
Things just fall into place.
I'm Corvair Wild, and I'm sure to read the book, and I hope other people can read it and enjoy it. And
I'm Jonathan Rintel.
appreciate
Virginia.
appreciate people that have certain skills and certain gifts. You've got a gift to be able to write, and debatably I have a gift to talk.
You must be Irish.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Actually, whoops, wrong button. Let's try this again. Nice to meet you.
13 videos a day.
Yeah, well, that's part of the problem.
All right.
We're going to sign this book to Corvair Wild.
Now,
You know how to spell it, don't you? One word. To Corvair Wild.
With a capital W?
No, just a lowercase. To Corvair Wild.
So not like Oscar Wilde.
Perfect. No, it's because I'm wild about Corvairs. Corvair Wild. And to date is, what, the 20th?
20th. Beer Nation.
I could sand them right down to where they're wide. My God, he got that thing out and he says,
Great.
hit it right there. He just sanded her right out.
Sure will.
There they were. But this guy does all kinds of stuff. Buys all kinds of cars.
Where are we now? In Richland? What do I got a room?
There you go.
Would you mind putting the, we're in Richland at the...
Is it Richland or Kalamazoo or Gilmore
Or put Kalamazoo because it's generally known as the Kalamazoo area.
Museum?
Because I'm going to look at that inscription. I'm going to say when we're all gone, but when we move on from here.
Right. There you go. How do
You're
we
a
do?
gentleman. Thank you, sir. Best
Thank you.
wishes to you and your son.